What's going on, guys? My name is Christopher and welcome to It's Complicated. Today we're going to be looking at a Vostok Komandirskie that I picked up on eBay directly from Russia. It took 2 months to get here. So let's check it out. All right, guys, here we are looking at the Vostok Komandirskie. It is so retro looking with this big bubbled case, and that's actually part of the water resistance, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. I paid 50 bucks plus shipping, so 63 US to get this from Russia on a seller on eBay, and it took 2 long months for it to get here. The Vostok Komandirskie has a 38 millimeter case size, not including the crown. It came in this box, very retro looking, almost like I've seen stuff that looks like this before. I just can't put my finger on it where, but this old school plastic with the gold on the outside, and there is the bracelet. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Here's the instruction manual that it came with, and here's something on the movement that it came with, and explaining some things in detail in Russian. The movement is using a Vostok 2414A. You can't hack the movement, and there's no quick set feature to set the date, but there is a shortcut. If you set it to 12 when the date changes, then go back to 8, back to 12, back to 8, you can kind of shortcut it that way, but it still takes a bit of time to get right. I did 2 measurements on this watch. The first time it was keeping plus 12 seconds a day, and the second time was plus 17 seconds a day. So for the price, that's really not bad timekeeping on a $63 mechanical watch with all Russian movement. The water resistance is 200 meter. And when they made this watch, the story goes is that they told the company that the design had to be Russian and it couldn't imitate a Western world watch. So this plastic crystal here, the more pressure water applies to it, the tighter the water resistance is. And the back, let's just get this NATO off quickly. In the back, there's a ring system in place. So you unscrew this ring and then that loosens this piece, and then you can use a small tool and pry that out. And there's a big rubber flap in there. So it actually doesn't lose water resistance from opening and resealing it. Pretty cool design. Crystal is made of plastic, but man, look at the sides of that. Just such a retro looking piece. The case is polished steel, and the bezel and the crown are actually chromed brass, and they get funky as it gets older. There's a small modding community out there for these watches. You can easily replace the bezel and the crown. Pretty cool there. Let's talk about the dial. I'm nicknaming this watch the Heineken for obvious reasons. The big red star at 12 o'clock, and then the Vostok logo on the bottom there, and some more Russian writing at the bottom, probably made in Russia, I'm assuming. I think the second hand on this watch is just a little short, and the hour hand maybe a little bit too long, but it's a minor gripe. Has the date at the 3 o'clock window. To get a movement with a date feature that's keeping decent time, shipped all the way across the world for 63 bucks, this is a great bargain. This would make a great first mechanical watch for anybody looking to get into the hobby. The markings on the bezel are almost backwards to what you'd see in the West. It is a bi-directional rotating bezel, and as I mentioned, it's chromed brass, not stainless steel. Turning the bezel, it is what it is. It turns smooth, but it's obviously very cheap feeling. Back of the case has stainless, brushed stainless, a lot of Russian writing. Let's talk about this watch's biggest offense. It is on a chromed brass bracelet with just nasty. All these edges are really, really sharp, and I did size this thing, and it actually broke one of my tools trying to size it because these pins just would not come out. I ended up having to bend the watch and force the bracelet off and then put it back together with some pliers. And after I finally got the thing sized, it pulled so many hairs out of my arm. I wore it for maybe an hour, and then I took it off and put it in my pocket. There it is on my 7-inch wrist, and boy, I love that bubble crystal on top there. Looks pretty slick, and I think this NATO strap really makes this thing pop. And those are my thoughts on the Vostok Komandirskie. Pretty cool looking piece. It's very retro looking. Cool to see that they're still making these watches, still selling these watches, and a great value watch at $63 delivered, although you're gonna wait a while to pick one up. If you like this video, please give it a like. Hope you subscribe to the show, still uploading on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I'll see you next time on another episode of It's Complicated.